everybody, it's Amanda here, and welcome to our first episode of In the Farmer's Kitchen. Tonight we're going to be preparing beet greens. Beet greens, normally people don't know how to use. They take the beets, we're going to cut the tops off the beets, and a lot of people just cook the beet part, the root part of the vegetable. A lot of people don't know how to utilize the greens. So tonight we're going to show you a really quick, easy, and delicious one-pan recipe on how to make beet greens. First, I took some pancetta and I sauteed it in a pan with some olive oil. If you don't have pancetta, regular bacon will be just fine. Don't worry about the fancy stuff. Alright, so I have my pancetta cooking here in a pan. You're going to want to cook it for about 3 minutes or so until it starts to get crispy. Okay. Once it gets crispy, we're going to take the bacon out of the pan. Smells so good. We're going to leave the drippings in the pan because the drippings are going to make a great accompaniment to the beet greens. Alright, so pancetta's out of the pan and we're just going to set that aside there for a little bit. Alright, next we're going to add some onions to the pan. I have about 1/4 cup of chopped onions here. You can use red or white. I prefer the white, so we're going to do that. Add them to the pan. And we're going to cook these for a little while until they get a little bit opaque, just until they start getting that wiltedness to them. You can add a little bit of garlic in here too. I have about 3 or 4 cloves of minced garlic. I like a lot of garlic, so if you want more, go for it. Okay, we're going to stir that all together. In the pan for a few minutes and let it wilt down. With the beets, again, you want to cut them right to the root of the vegetable here, and we're going to utilize all of the stem. We're going to cut up in pieces all of the stem, including the leaves. You want to make sure that you wash them really good. Beet greens can tend to get a little bit sandy or gritty just because they grow so close to the ground. So wash them really good. Use a salad spinner if you have to, dry them out a little bit. And then we're going to coarsely chop them. So if you can see here, I have some big leaves, I have the stems. Alright, and these are going to wilt down a lot. Alright, so back to our pan, we're just going to keep stirring around so the garlic doesn't burn. Alright, we're going to give it another minute or so before we add our beet greens. Did you guys know that beet greens is a great source of our vitamin A? It has over 200% of our daily allowance of vitamin A. Also a great source of vitamin C, iron, and calcium as well. So beet greens are super good for you, so eat your greens. Alright, it's about time we're going to add our beet greens to here. Alright. There we go, we're going to add them all in there nice and nice. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to it now. I like to use sea salt. And I'm going to use some cracked pepper too, nice fresh ground pepper. Okay. And we're going to add a little bit of white wine, because white wine goes well with just about anything. So we're going to drizzle that right on the top. Also going to help to make sure our pan doesn't burn. We're going to turn the temperature up to high. So far we've been cooking on about a medium setting. We're going to cover it, and we're going to let that wilt down for a few minutes. We have our beet greens here. I'm going to plate them up here for you. Look at the colors on those, the green and the red. Oh, always good to have all these colors on your plate. Nice and healthy. All right, give this a little taste. It's a little hot. They're cooked perfectly. Great taste with the pancetta. Got that little bit of meat, bacony flavor to it. We have the stems that have the nice crunch on the beets. The leaf itself is still a little bit crunchy, but it's got a great texture to it. Perfect way to eat your beet greens. Enjoy, everybody. We'll see you next time. In the Farmer's Kitchen, I'm Amanda.